Welcome to episode 2 in the Chinese Shanghai clock repair. In this episode, I'm going to show you how I clean the parts, getting them back ready for reassembly, and then disaster strikes. Not good. All the parts will go into the ultrasonic cleaner for 40 minutes. That it's set for, and some of them have come out already. Some of the time ones come out and they're looking pretty clean, so that's nice. And that piece is looking good. And there's more to put in. Okay, I just got these out of the ultrasonic cleaner. I'm going to dry them off. This is what I usually do to all the parts. This is what I do to every wheel, everything that comes out of the ultrasonic cleaner. I just blow it off. Rinse it off in hot water and then blow it off. In the case of this though, I'll clean it and then I'll grease it. I'll wipe it with a rag and then I'll grease it. So right now I'm just cleaning. I did a little light sanding with some light sandpaper. And now I'm just cleaning that off on this mainspring, and then I gotta grease it. And to grease it, I use Keystone Mainspring lubricant, and I just use my fingers. I do it up underneath as well as on top. I can get into most of the mainspring by doing this. Most of it, and then I'll use a Q-tip to get into the rest. Okay, that one's greased. Now to put it into the mainspring. Put it into the barrel. And what I'm going to do, try something I've never done before. I have a mainspring winder, but I think I'm going to try to do it by hand. I've never done it by hand ever. I've seen people do it. just that setting up the mainspring winder, this just takes so much time. There's a lot of effort. This dangerous machine. So I'm going to try this by hand. See if I can get it in the barrel. Is that the one I just greased? No, it's still there. I don't know if I can do it. I think it's really difficult to do, but who knows? We shall see. I think we're going to the mainspring winder. We'll give that up. Mainspring winder it is. So this is my Ollie Baker mainspring winder. And all I do is I clamp it to the desk here on either side. And you have to know how to use it, but basically you put the mainspring in here, tighten it up, and put it inside the barrel. And there's a technique for doing that. This thing goes around like this to tighten it. It's got a ratcheting mechanism there. Yeah, it's an expensive tool, but it does the job. It can take springs out of the barrel and it can put them back in the barrel. But it's a kind of a dangerous device to use. The spring could slip break or slip off of here and smash you in the face, but hasn't happened to me yet. But I do find it difficult to use this machine. But it does the job, so I have to use it. That's a whole lot easier. It's in there now. No trouble with the mainspring winder. I gotta put a little grease in the bottom of the barrel. There we go. So that's one and done. Oh, there. There she goes. Just check and make sure it's in all the way. Yep. Here we got one done. One down, one to go. Let's go get the other one. Okay, we got a real problem now. This. We got a bent pivot. Clock won't work with that. So now I've got to straighten it and hope I don't break it. Okay, so we went from bad to good. I worked on this fan wheel to get the pivot straight, as it was broken. So now it is straight. Don't know if you can see that. I can't see what you can. I can't see, so maybe you can. But anyway, it's straight as I can get it, which involved heating it up and bending it back without breaking it. I did have an option if it did break. There's a way to drill this out and put a piece of pivot wire in there and stick it in there with what do you call it? That paste that goes in there. Anyway, I can't do it because I don't have the tools to do it properly, nor the skill. So what I did is I had planned to send it down south to the States to have it done, but I didn't have to. I was able to get it fixed myself without harming any of the other parts. So we just got to put it back in the clock here. Let's see if I can get this together. See if I can get this together. Now, which way does this thing go? I do believe it goes this way. Maybe, maybe not. I got in the wrong spot. Sorry, I got in the wrong spot. Okay, that's where that goes. This might be difficult to put on because I got this lined up so good. The bridge, I got it lined up so good, I didn't want to take it out again, so I left that in there like that. Okay, everything looks like it's supposed to look. Let's see if I can get this on. See if I can get this on. This has to go down in there. It goes in there. I believe it goes in the second one. I'm going to figure out which one this goes. Goes in the bottom one. Bottom one was all the wear. Put a little piece of tape on there to hold that. A little piece of tape. Nothing strong. This one to hold this thing in place where it's supposed to be so it doesn't move around. So it only goes where it's supposed to go. There. And now it's time to put this together. Okay. That together. Oops. Get that guy inside. And he's got to be pointing the right way too. That has to be pointing the right way. Okay. Da 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 da. There you go. There you go. We got the first two posts in place. So what you do is you just put the screws on to hold it from bouncing off again. every time I drop something, it magically disappears between the desk and the ground. Some little gremlins take them. All right, we got those 2 screws down. Now we got to start putting things into place. Put a little pressure, little thumb finger pressure down on everything, and then move things into place. See how that wheel's in place? This wheel's not. Move it into place. You can use a pair of tweezers. I have the right kind of pivot tools, but I prefer to use tweezers to pull everything into place. Put a little light pressure down on everything, and look for the next wheel that has to be put into place. Which is this one. This one. We're going that down just a little more. Da 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 da. Get this one in place. Okay, we don't need that piece of tape anymore. I don't think we need that anymore. Oh, there's 2 holes. There we go. Did you hear that? This is how you bend the pivot. So if these are too tight, it's easy to bend a pivot, trying to slide it into place. It's kind of what happened when I bent this one, but I had it all together and I had to spread the plates apart to move something. And I used my plate spreader, and what happened is the plate spreader slipped off, so the plates tightened back down and bent that pivot. So sorry, Dennis, but that's what happened. Mistakes happen. It's all good now. It's all good now. Dennis is the guy that owns this clock, and it's a $25 clock, but to him, it's a $900 clock because he likes it. He's in love with this clock, so to him, it's worth $900. To me, it's still a $25 clock. I'd throw it away. If I broke something, I'd throw it away. It's a cheap Chinese clock. Cheap Chinese clock. Okay, you're in the right place. Who's holding up things here? This guy. That guy. And as you tighten her down just a little bit more, as things this guy in the bottom is not tightened. There we are. Still quite a few to locate yet. I might have to get my locator because this is a long way to reach. this is the scary part, tightening down the nut. Tightening down the nuts. You gotta make sure you got everything in place before you do that. Okay, tighten her down a little bit. Everything looks good. All right. Now we gotta clinch these two down with their clamps, C clamps. What I usually a brass hammer. I usually flatten them out and then give them a little, make them a little tighter. Close the mouth just a little. So it'll go on tighter. I'll probably have 5 or 6 parts left over when I'm done. I better not tell Dennis that. All right. Their clock is back together, I think. It's ready for some, needs to be oiled. Ready for some oil. All the pivots. I wonder if I got that in the right hole. Before I go ahead and pivot it, oil everything. Is that thing level? Yeah, it's good. I got it in the right hole. Yeah, everything looks good there. Okay. Just some things I gotta look at. Oh, I got a little too much oil in that one. Too much oil is bad as no oil. That's why I use my man glasses so I can see everything. Okay, I think we got them all. Do that fan wheel. Okay, we got them on that side. We'll take these. I would miss the side. Should we put this in? Okay, what was it? Let's just see what the that's good. That's good. We want that. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're losing connection. This happens. It was connected good. In order for me to get it in the barrel, it had to be connected. There we are. Got her that time. Should stay good from now on. Yep, that looks good. So what are we going to do here? What's missing? Okay, well, here's the bad news. The good news is everything seems to work pretty good, actually. And, but, unfortunately, what I noticed is this fan wheel, when it expands, it was hitting the side of this thing here. Let me get my tweezers. It was hitting the side, this bar here. This fan wheel was hitting this bar. And the reason is it's expanding too far out. This part here is going too far down that way and letting these expand too far here. So, and I'm wondering why that is. Well, there's the answer sitting over there. This little guy. He's a sort of a fiber type or bakelite type washer that needs to go right in there. So guess what that means? I could use my plate spreader and spread these plates apart and slip it in. But since that's the one I bent before, actually it's on this end I bent, I'm not going to take a risk. So I'm going to take the plate back off and put that on and re-pivot all of those pivots, which I enjoy doing actually. It's not hard. It takes time, but I enjoy doing it. It gives me good practice. So I'm not going to videotape that. I think I'll just do it and then show you when it's done. Okay, we're back. Took me about 7 minutes to get it in there. There it is, sitting right there. So it's in there, right there. We got her in. We got to do more testing. Testing. We know the time side works. That works really good. That little guy likes to go. There he goes. This one here, hopefully she grabs. Now, she's going to do that again. Every time you let it down, see, that's what happens. So there, sometimes they grab. Oh, look at that. We got lucky that time. All right. Do a little testing, make sure everything works the way it's supposed to work. It should stop. And it did. So that's good. And where are we in relation to the steer wheel? Oh, the steer wheel's caught. Just about past. If I could move that steer wheel between normal clocks. Normal clocks, you can move that steer wheel. But I don't know if you can on these. I don't know if you can. I wish you could just move them an inch. You're supposed to be able to. Supposed to be able to take 2 screwdrivers and move that steering wheel. Steering wheel has to be situated in a certain space. Take that power off that. Oh, there it moved. Put the power on. Okay, that's perfect. That's exactly where I want it. Let's test it. Test it some more. Testing, testing, testing. That's what we got to do. All right. Bring a little block of wood here. This is what I set the clock on so I can put the hand, move the minute hand around. Warning. Bang. Okay, it should go like 8 o'clock. Well, that's working a lot better. Everything worked. Perfect. And the star wheel's right where I want it to be. Okay, so this should go once for the half hour. This once. That's clicky. I wonder if Dennis heard that clicking noise before. I don't like the noise that thing makes. But I guess you won't hear it because it'll be gonging. So yeah, you won't hear that. It'll be gonging. Stop. Okay, everything tests out good there. What's next? What do I gotta do next? I still gotta wait for the part to come. Well, let's put the, oops. Let's put the hammers on. See, we put the hammer on. But I don't know exactly where this has to go on. Yeah. But it goes something like that and has to be tuned. Has to be tuned in line with the it'll be like somewhere there. I'll tune it when I put it in the case. Just once. And now just once. Good. Now just once. And now twice. 1, 2. Bravo, 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 Dennis. The clock is ready to go back into the case. However, we can't put it back into the case yet. So the only thing we're waiting for on this jobby is the suspension spring. So the part that this hangs off of, see, this goes on here, this hangs here, and it has to hang on to the suspension spring, which is missing. So I've ordered that part from Time Savers. First I ordered it from Perrin Company in Canada, and then they called me back and said it was back ordered, and then about 3 or 4 days later they just canceled my order and sent my money back. So then I had to go to Time Savers, another supplier in the US, who mails the parts out. And look at it, it's ticking away and the hand is moving. And so what that meant was that it's going to get caught up in the Canada Post mail backlog. So just waiting for that to come, and this clock is ready to go back into the case.